Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Nick Quintero, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I made this MF Doom mask out of EVA foam. All right, let's get into it.
Perfect.
All right, so this is the first mask that I made, and it had some problems. I originally drilled these holes in because I wanted to use elastic, and that didn't work out, so I added this foam headband, but that also turned out to be a little too small. There was just some flaws around some of these edges, and especially up here on the nose, there was just a lot of problems that I wanted to fix. The biggest problem was that the mask was just too big for my face. Like, you can see that the fangs are just like way too wide apart, and it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So I started the second build with this EVA foam that I got from Michaels. Instead of using my own template this time, I went on Etsy and I found this template for the Gladiator helmet. This is what Doom's mask is actually based on, if you didn't know. So I used his templates. The foam was super curled and curved up because it came in a roll. So I had to tape it down to my desk to try to keep it as flat as possible while I was laying these pieces out. Now I put them on kind of strategically to use as little foam as possible. Then I taped down each piece, which was something I learned on the first build because the edges came up when I tried to trace them with the Sharpie. So after tracing each one on, I cut them out into smaller, more manageable pieces before doing the actual cuts. So here I realized that I didn't cut out the eyes on the paper templates, which was a big mistake because I had to cut these out with the paper still on top. I suggest you do not do this. So I used a ruler here to get the straightest cuts possible while doing these pieces that were just like perfectly straight and square. Then I sanded all the edges by hand, which was a pain and took forever. Wish I could have done it this fast. So this is a frosting tip for making cakes and cupcakes that I bought on Amazon a while back, and it was just the perfect size to cut out these circles. I used these in place of those little decorative pieces that I ended up not using. So then I used my heat gun because that's what they tell you to do on YouTube, and it really flattened out the actual foam and gave it a good texture for this super glue to grab onto. So this is making the headband. I just lined up these two pieces and held it together for 30 to 45 seconds, and I had a perfect headband. I then layered up the foam on itself the way that it would be assembled, drew on it to make a template so I could know where to put the glue, and then I did the same process of pressing these two pieces together. So once I had the mask all glued together, I added the head strap and formed it around it to give it a perfect curve when I would wear it. You can really see the difference in the size here. I think the new one is way better for my face, and the fangs just fit my mouth like they're supposed to. I covered the whole thing in this Plasti Dip, which is a spray paint that everybody tells you to get, and it works great. I'll put a link below. So once I had it all painted, it took about 3 coats. I then took my metallic silver paint and applied it with a sponge brush. This is the paint that I used. This took about 5 coats of the silver paint to cover the entire thing. It looked streaky when I was applying it, but when it was dried, it was actually really solid. It was perfect. So then I took the brown paint and I used the same sponge brush, except I dabbed it off a little bit to get less on the brush, and then I applied it to the edges to get that nice brown rust look. And it came out so good. I was really excited about the way that the texture applies with the sponge because it just really gives you some natural, edge and patina. Overall, I'm super happy with how this second mask came out. It fits my face so much better. It looks really great. The texture is awesome, and I'm super excited to wear this one.